Let me say something that might mess with the way you understand healing. If you keep slipping back into old patterns, right when you think you've outgrown them, that's not self-sabotage. That's your nervous system doing its job. If you've ever thought, why am I craving the old me when I know she wasn't happy? Or why does growth feel scary when it's supposed to feel good? This episode is for you. Because the part of you that wants freedom and the part of you that wants safety are not always on the same timeline. And until you understand that, you'll keep blaming yourself for reactions that make perfect biological sense. So if you're tired of feeling like your body didn't get the memo, that you've changed, stay with me. This conversation will change how you relate to yourself forever. If you're new here, hi, I'm Cherry. I'm a spiritual life coach, numerologist, and energy alchemist. And I work with people who are in the messy middle of transformation. People who've done the mindset work, who understand the patterns, who know better, but still feel their body pull them back into old roles when life gets intense. This work isn't about willpower. It's about capacity. And today's episode, part 2 of this January series, is all about understanding why your nervous system misses the old you, even when you don't. Because once you stop fighting your biology, real change finally becomes sustainable. So what is familiarity over freedom? Let's start with the truth most people don't want to hear. Your nervous system does not care about your dreams. It does not care about your goals. It does not care about your higher self. Its only job is survival. And survival is built on familiarity, not happiness. That's why the old you, the overgiver, the fixer, the peacekeeper, the one who stayed quiet, feels magnetic under stress. Not because she was good for you, but because she was known. Your nervous system learned, if I behave like this, I stay connected. If I anticipate needs, I avoid conflict. If I shrink, I stay safe. Those behaviors became maps. And when you started changing, setting boundaries, saying no, choosing yourself, you don't just remove habits, you remove maps. So your nervous system goes into alert. This is where people misinterpret what's happening. They think, I must not be healed. I must be doing something wrong. I must secretly want the old life back. No, your system is asking a very simple question. How do we stay safe now? And if you haven't shown it yet, it will reach for the last known strategy. That's not failure. That's biology. So let this land. I want you to place one hand on your chest and notice if there's any tightness, any shallow breath, any urge to figure this out. And then say quietly, my body is protecting me, not betraying me. Nothing to fix, nothing to push through. Just acknowledgement. This is why growth feels unsafe at first. Here's the part that really matters. When you stop people pleasing, you don't just lose approval, you lose predictability. You don't know how people will respond. You don't know if you'll be liked. You don't know if you'll be chosen. And the nervous system hates the unknowns. So it sends signals of anxiety, second guessing, guilt, the urge to explain yourself. These are not signs you should stop growing. They are signs you've entered new territory. Freedom feels unsafe before it feels free, every single time. And if you expect your nervous system to feel calm immediately, you will keep returning to old patterns just to regulate yourself. That's why awareness alone doesn't change behavior. Your body needs evidence. Evidence that boundaries don't equal abandonment. Evidence that being honest doesn't equal danger. Evidence that rest doesn't equal collapse. Until then, it will default to what it knows. So what is the grief beneath the fear? This is where grief and safety meet. Because when your nervous system misses the old you, it's not missing the pain, it's missing the role. Who you are if you're not the one who holds it all together. Who are you if you're not the reliable one, the accommodating one, the strong one? That identity gave you a place. Letting it go creates identity vertigo. And vertigo feels like fear, but underneath the fear is grief. Grief for the version of you who knew how to belong. If you're sitting or standing, let your shoulders drop and say, I make sense of the part of me misses what was familiar. Let your body respond. You're not indulging the past, you're metabolizing it. So why does forcing it change backfires? This is where I'm going to lovingly call you out. Trying to push through nervous system resistance is why people burn out on healing. You cannot force your body into safety. You have to teach it. And teaching takes repetition, not pressure. Small boundaries keep promises to yourself, pausing instead of overriding. This is how safety is rebuilt, not through affirmations, through experience. So I want to give you a somatic practice. Stand with your feet grounded. Press your toes into the floor, then your heels. Say, I am safe, learning a new way to exist. Repeat slowly. This is how you create new neutral pathways, one moment at a time. So what does this mean for you? So if you've been feeling pulled between old and new versions of yourself, guilty for not being who you used to be, confused about why growth feels emotional, nothing is wrong. Your nervous system is learning a new language, and learning always feels awkward before it feels natural. Before we close, I want to ground this. This episode was part 2 of a 4-part January series on grieving who you were and making space for who you are becoming. In part 1, we named the grief. We stopped pathologizing it. In this part, we explored why your nervous system clings to the old you and why safety must come before freedom. In part 3, we're going to talk about how to release an old identity without rejecting your past and why self-compassion is non-negotiable in real change. And in part 4, we'll focus on embodiment, how to actually live as the new version of you without forcing, proving, or performing. So if this episode resonated, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. And if you're realizing that your grief is tied to boundaries, relationships, or chronic self-abandonment, this is exactly the work we do inside my one-to-one sessions to break through the people-pleasing and to create a strategy for you, not to fix you, but to help your body feel safe enough to finally let go. This is not the end of the work, it's the deepening. And I look forward to seeing you in part 3. So bye for now.